hunting the paranormal with metal in their veins, no fear in their hearts as they break the chains of the supernatural. They will not rest until they face the demons, put them to the test.
What is up, everybody? It is that time. We are back. Back in the saddle. It's been a while. Life has been a little
A
crazy.
couple weeks, huh?
I know some people probably thought we were gone for good, but we're here to annoy you.
Yeah, we've returned. I did the little vacay thing, and you had family emergencies going on.
But it is August 10th, 2025. Everybody on Spotify will hear this on Wednesday. We are Season 4, Episode 8. Oh, yeah, by the way, it is 8:02 Pacific Standard Time. You know where your cryptids are?
I was gassed, man. You're missing something.
It's been a while. It's been a while. It is hot. It is hot. It is hot. So, welcome to Haunted Islands Month. Alcatraz was supposed to be part of California, but everything went topsy-turvy. So, we're going to do Haunted Islands. Woo!
Ooh.
Well, that's the game plan, at least. So, we're going to open up with Alcatraz.
Oh, Alcatraz. Yes.
An island. It's haunted, so we're closed us.
It is.
All right. So, of course, our number one fan, our research officer, has drawn up a wonderful, happy piece of paperwork for us to read off of.
And she's in the chat with us as well. Hi, Tammy.
I'm sure she missed us. We've been going for 2 weeks.
Yeah. She's been jonesing for a new episode.
Okay, Alcatraz Island, situated in San Francisco Bay. Alcatraz Island is a historical landmark. It is also a creepy fortress of paranormal activity. Alcatraz Island is widely considered to be one of the most haunted places in the United States, with a reputation for paranormal activity. The island's former federal penitentiary, known as the Rock, has a history filled with tales of restless spirits echoing with the sounds of ghostly moans, whispers, and even the phantom playing of a banjo. And I'm going to tack on a little bit here, Tammy. And that goes with Sean Connery. If you're talking about The Rock, you got to talk about Sean Connery.
Yes, we do.
All right. The early years, Native Americans known as the Ohlone, a Miwok Indian word, were the earliest known inhabitants. They gathered bird eggs and other products there, but did not generally permanently live on the island. The earliest recorded owner of Alcatraz was William Workman of the Workman Temple family, to whom it was given by Mexican Governor Pio Pico in June 1846, with the understanding that Workman would build a lighthouse on it. Workman was also co-owner of Rancho La Puerta and personal friend of Pio Pico. Later in 1846, acting in his capacity as military governor of California, John C. Fremont, champion of Manifest Destiny and leader of the Bear Flag Republic, bought the island for $5,000 in the name of the United States government from Francis Temple. 1950, President Millard Fillmore ordered that Alcatraz Island be set aside specifically for military purposes based on the U.S. acquisition of California from Mexico following the Mexican-American War. Fremont had expected a large compensation for its initiative in purchasing and securing Alcatraz Island, the U.S. government, but the U.S. government later invalidated the sale and paid Fremont nothing. Sorry, Fremont.
Yeah.
Fremont and his heirs sued for compensation during protracted but unsuccessful legal battles that extended into the 1890s. So, wow, I mean, you had that big old chunk of land up there, and you got screwed. Uh, the upper part of the island was encircled with walls built of stone and bricks abutting in the rock faces, unlike most other third system works, which laid a heavier hand on the natural landscape. Near the wharf, though, a later Sallyport, super weird word. No, I'm not drunk. I'm actually drinking soda.
Ah, well, I'll take care of that for you.
You take care of the alcohol. I got the soda. It's still too hot in my house for alcohol. A fortified barracks showed a more conventional design. A lighthouse was built and 11 cannons were fixed. Army engineer James P. McPherson, later to become a prominent general during the Civil War, was one of the earliest commanders to serve on Alcatraz in 1858. In 1859, Captain Joseph Stewart became commander of the active fort. The Miwok Indians have always considered Alcatraz a barren sandstone rock in San Francisco Bay, inhabited by evil spirits. They must have petrified with fear when the U.S. Army brought them to the rock in chains and shackles. In 1859, the first year that Alcatraz was used as a prison. Rock served as a military prison throughout the 19th century. Beginning in 1907, prisons were put to work building what was then the largest reinforced concrete structures in the world. When it was completed in 1912, the workers who built it began the first inmates. Here's the shots.
Nothing like building your own.
The Fort Alcatraz, was completed in 1859 as the United States Army fortification for San Francisco on the West Coast. It was also used for mustering and training recruits and new units for the Civil War from 1861, and began secondary use as a long-term military prison in 1868. A large concrete prison block was erected between 1910 and 1912. In 1933 to 34, this was modernized and became the Alcatraz Federal Penitentiary. As early as 1859, Alcatraz used to house soldiers who were guilty of crimes. It was then became a military prison and housed prisoners of war during the Civil War. It began housing citizens who were accused of treason. Native Americans were also among the first prisoners incarcerated at Alcatraz, including opium individuals in prison for resisting the government's boarding school policies, and some died there. Their bodies would be shipped off to Angel Island, but their spirits may remain at Alcatraz. Alcatraz Federal Penitentiary. The U.S. War Department decided in 1933 that the Alcatraz military prison was no longer needed for the purpose of defense. They transferred the property to the Federal Bureau of Prisons in 1934. That August, the prison was modernized and fortified. It was declared to be the strongest prison in America and an ideal place to incarcerate the most ruthless and notorious criminals. Bank robbers, kidnappers, mobsters, and murderers, including Al Capone, Robert Franklin Stroud, better known as the Birdman of Alcatraz, and George Machine Gun Kelly, all served time on the island. As well as Sean Connery, who actually escaped.
Right?
It's Alcatraz. We got to throw as many Sean Connery and Nicolas Cage references in as we possibly humanly can. In total, the heat might be getting to us. I don't know. In total, 36 prisoners attempted to escape the island prison. 23 were captured alive, 6 were shot dead, 2 drowned, and 5 were officially listed as missing and presumed drowned. In 1962, the only successful escape occurred when John Paul Scott succeeded in swimming to the shore. He was quickly apprehended when 4 teenagers found the fugitive unconscious and suffering from hypothermia at Fort Point beneath the Golden Gate Bridge. Now we're going to talk a little bit about the prisoners of Alcatraz. Al Scarface Capone was likely the most feared man in Alcatraz, while other inmates like Alvin Carpus and Robert Stroud were also notorious. Capone's reputation as a ruthless gangster from Chicago outfit made him a figure of significant fear and respect within the prison. Although he was in prison for tax evasion, he was actually a brutal mafia boss. Yeah, that shit's so cool. He was actually a brutal mafia boss. By the time he got to Alcatraz, he couldn't try to flee. He was suffering from syphilis, which may have explained his erratic and murderous behavior. He had been an inmate with special privileges in Atlanta, but not at Alcatraz. He was no longer allowed large sums of money to pay off the guards or anything. He begged the wardens for permission to start a small band, and he took up music. The band was called the Rock Islanders and had a rotating group of musicians as it became a privilege to be in the band. He became a tenor guitar and tenor banjo player. He was inmate number 85. Capone's time at Alcatraz was not without incident. He was attacked by another inmate, James Tex Lucas, who stabbed him with scissors in the prison shower room. Additionally, Capone's health deteriorated due to syphilis, eventually leading to his transfer to Terminal Island Prison in California for the remainder of his sentence. Alcatraz is known for its ghostly legends, and Al Capone is one of the famous inmates whose spirit is said to linger. While in Alcatraz, Capone was known to play the banjo, and some visitors and staff have reported hearing phantom banjo music echoing through the prison, particularly in the shower area where he was known to practice.
Interesting.
That probably explains why he was stabbed in the shower room. He was in practicing his banjo.
He was making too much noise.
Born in Seattle, Washington, Stroud ran away from his abusive father at the age of 13. By the time he was 18, he had become a pimp in the Alaska Territory. In January 1909, he shot and killed a bartender who attacked his mistress, a crime for which he was sentenced to 12 years at the federal penitentiary on McNeil Island in Puget Sound. Stroud gained a reputation as a dangerous inmate with frequent confrontations with fellow inmates and staff. In 1916, he stabbed and killed a guard. Stroud was convicted of first-degree murder and sentenced to death by hanging, but after several trials, his sentence was commuted to life imprisonment in solitary confinement. Wow.
Damn. Holy hell.
So Stroud probably went insane.
I'd say definitely that was a death sentence, all right.
1920, while in solitary confinement at the federal penitentiary of Leavenworth, Stroud discovered a nest of 3 injured sparrows in the prison yard. He cared for them, and within a few years had acquired a collection of about 300 canaries. He began extensive research into birds after being granted equipment by a prison reforming warden. Stroud wrote Disease of the Canaries, which was smuggled out of Leavenworth and published in 1933, as well as a later edition in 1940. He made important contributions to avian pathology, most notably a cure for the hemophagic family diseases. Hemophagic. We're just going to skip. We're moving on. Gaining much respect and some level of sympathy among ornithologists and farmers. Stroud ran a successful business from inside the prison, but his activities infuriated prison staff. He was transferred to Alcatraz in 1942 after it was discovered that he had been secretly making alcohol by using some of the equipment in his cell. Stroud began serving a 17-year term at Alcatraz Federal Penitentiary on December 19, 1942, and became inmate number 594. In 1943, he was assessed by psychiatrist Romy M. Ritchie, who diagnosed him as a psychopath with the IQ of 112. Stripped of his birds and equipment, he wrote a history of the penal system. Then we got the Alcatraz ghost known as the Butcher. It's associated with violent encounters and a strong, malevolent presence within the prison cell blocks, particularly cell block C. This entity is believed to be the ghost of Abby Moldowitz, a hitman named Butcher, who was killed by another inmate in the laundry room. Sylvia Brown, while touring Alcatraz prison, encountered the spirit of a former inmate known as Butcher. Butcher, a tall, bald man with beady eyes, was described as the Hitman for Murder Incorporated, who was killed in a lunchroom by another inmate. Brown held a seance to guide Butcher to the other side with her spirit guide, Francine, encouraged him to follow the light. I'm going to have to pass this off to you for a second, so you're going to have to finish this. I got to take the dog outside real quick.
Alrighty. In what came to be called the Battle of Alcatraz in May of 1946, Stroud made efforts to protect other inmates. Then, 56 years old, Stroud climbed over the third-tier railing and lowered himself onto the second tier, then dropped onto the floor of D Block. He started closing the front solid steel doors of the 6 isolation cells to protect the helpless men. Stroud yelled to the warden, explaining that there were no firearms in D Block and that those involved in violence had retreated to another section of the prison. He made it clear that many innocent men would die if the guards continued to fire into D Block. Stroud was never released from the federal prison system. He was imprisoned from 1909 to his death in 1963. There is so much to Stroud's story that there is a movie of his life called The Birdman of Alcatraz. All right, George Kelly Barnes, Machine Gun Kelly. Machine Gun Kelly spent his remaining 21 years in prison. During his time at Alcatraz, he got the nickname Pop Gun Kelly. According to fellow inmate Dale Stamphill, the nickname originated because he told big fish stories. The cons called him Pop Gun Kelly after court guns that were popular with kids. The guys didn't take him seriously. This may have stemmed from the fact that, in addition to his exaggerated tall tales, Kelly was a model prisoner and did not act like the brutal gangster his wife, the media, and FBI had made him out to be. He spent 17 years on Alcatraz as inmate number 117, working in the prison industries, continuing to boast and exaggerate his past escapades to other inmates, and was quietly transferred back to Leavenworth in 1951. He died of a heart attack at Leavenworth on July 18, 1954. Alrighty. And let's see. Machine Gun Kelly and his crimes were portrayed in films such as Machine Gun Kelly, 1958, The FBI Story in 1959, and Melvis Purvis, G-Man in 1974. Specific hauntings and phenomenon. Cell 14D. This solitary confinement cell is known for its perpetual chill and reports of ghostly activity, including whispers and apparitions. Some believe the spirit of an inmate who died in the cell still lingers. D Block. The entire D Block, where cell 14D is located, is considered a hotspot for paranormal activity, with reports of unexplained sounds, cold spots, and a general sense of unease. Sounds.
So it's got a word in it. It's got a word. It's the entire cell block. Not
Yeah,
in one
right.
little spot. It's everything. What's that tell you? Tells you that cell block D is where we need to stay.
Right. So the sounds, visitors and staff have reported hearing various sounds, including echoing footsteps, clanging cell doors, whispers, moans, sobs, even the sound of a banjo, possibly associated with Al Capone. Woohoo. Apparitions. Some have reported seeing shadowy figures, ghostly inmates, and apparitions of former guards patrolling the cell blocks. Hey, we even got cold spots. Unexplained cold spots have been reported in various locations on the island, particularly in the cell block and surrounding cell 14D. The Thing. Some guards reported seeing an entity with glowing eyes, which they referred to as the Thing. The Native American spirits. Some believe that the island is also haunted by the spirits of Native American prisoners who died during the Civil War. Cell Block D, particularly Cell 14D. This particular cell, man, something about it, is notorious for reported paranormal activity, including cold spots, disembodied voices, and the feeling of a ghostly presence.
You know what? I
Yeah.
would like to have a ghostly presence in my apartment right now. I want a big cold spot right here. It would be helpful.
Yeah. According to the Gray Line San Francisco tours, the story goes that an inmate met his untimely demise in this very cell. The screams of sheer terror resonating through the prison as he claimed a malevolent creature was about to claim him. Numerous tourists have reported an inexplicable drop in temperature within this chamber, as if the lingering presence of tormented spirits still roams these grim confines. Man, I'm enjoying this more just reading this shit than actually hearing about it from somewhere else. Just kidding. Alcatraz's haunting legends extend well beyond its chilling cells. The island itself carries a haunting history rooted in the curses of Native American tribes who believed the island was a place of malevolent spirits. They warned their people against visiting, lest they be plagued by supernatural disturbances. You know, I'd really like to hear more about the Native American things on the Alcatraz, because I've never really heard it much beforehand. Let's see, where were we? Oh yeah, the island's enigmatic lighthouse adds another layer to the eerie tales. Its first keeper, James A. King, was found dead under mysterious circumstances, and some believe his spirit still lingers, causing strange noises and unexplained events around the area. Ah, boy. Beyond the spectral apparitions and chilling cold spots, Alcatraz is a place where mysterious disappearances have occurred. Visitors and inmates disappeared mysteriously, leaving cold spots and unexplainable disturbances as eerie remnants of their presence. In a puzzling incident, inmates vanished from cells overnight, later found wandering the prison in a bewildered and disoriented state.
I'm not saying aliens, but aliens.
So I was gonna say there's gotta be something.
I don't have the hair, people. I don't have it. Can't spike it up.
I'm gonna let you take it over there. I gotta take care of something real quick. Sorry.
Yeah, no worries, it happens.
Yep. All right. Be back.
All right, so from legendsofamerica.com. Often described as a portal to another dimension, Alcatraz is filled with the energy of those who came to the rock and simply never left. Tales and legends about the island have circulated for several centuries since its first visitors. In the beginning, the Native Americans believed the island to be inhabited by evil spirits. As severe punishment for violations of tribal law, Indians were sometimes isolated on the island or even banished for life to live among the evil spirits. While the island served as a federal penitentiary, several guards reported extraordinary experiences, including hearing the sounds of sobbing and moaning, the terrible smells, and reports of what they called the Thing, an entity that was said to appear with glowing eyes. Other reports were made of phantom prisoners and soldiers appearing before the guards and families who lived on the island. So the Thing could be anything. It has often been reported that the old lighthouse will suddenly appear on foggy nights, accompanied by an eerie whistling sound and a flashing green light that slowly makes its way around the island, turning the guards and visitors alike. The spectacle vanishes as suddenly as it appears. Cell block at Alcatraz stayed by Kathy Alexander when the prison was still open. Other guards told of hearing phantom cannons and gunshots accompanied by screams that were so real they sent the seasoned guards to the ground, believing that prisoners had somehow escaped and had obtained weapons. After taking cover, the guards would cautiously look around to see nothing. These incidents could never be explained. Another often reported experience of the guards with the smell of smoke that often came from a deserted laundry room as if something was on fire. When they investigated, the black smoke was so thick it drove the guards from the room. However, just minutes later, the room was completely smoke-free. The notorious D block of the prison is said to have been and continues to be the most haunted block in all of the prison. While first built the same as the other cell blocks, the Bureau of Prisons appropriated additional money for a more secure D block after the 1939 escape attempt in which Arthur Doc Barker was killed. D block, known as Treatment Unit, comprised 42 cells with varying restrictions. There was no contact with the general population for all prisoners incarcerated in D block. 36 cells were virtually like the others in the general population. However, inmates were not allowed to work nor go to the mess hall for meals. They were allowed only one visit to the recreation yard and 2 showers each week, and all meals were served in the cells. Their only diversion was reading of prison-approved material. These cells faced the Golden Gate Bridge, from which fierce cold winds often blew. One guard who worked D block was known to turn on the air conditioning and make it even colder for those confined on the block. Yeah, D block kind of sounds like you don't want to be in D block at all. D block kind of sucks. While there's no definite proof of ghosts, the volume of reported experiences and the history of the prison can contribute to its reputation as one of the most haunted places in the world. Dark history and tragic events. Alcatraz, known as the Rock or Alcatraz, housed dangerous criminals and was a place of desperation, violence, and death, with many inmates dying on the island. If you want to check it out, there are tours in San Francisco that offer day tours, night tours, and even behind the scenes.
And isn't there rumors that they're going to reopen that thing?
I think there was, that they were going to do it. I know if you do the Alcatraz day tour, it's 2.5 hours. That's island round trip ferry. It's $53 per person. You get on there, you got the Set House audio tour, the orientation video, Ranger, and some other tours. I don't want the daytime tours. I didn't come here for the daytime tours. I want the ghosts.
Yeah, we want the...
The nighttime tour, approximately 2.5 hours.
We need the banjo playing Al Capone.
No, we want to be locked down. Let's be locked down.
Yes.
Alcatraz behind the scenes tour, 4 to 5 hours. Oh, I want the spooky. Give me the spooky.
Sweet.
See what they got. Looking that up.
Let's see.
You know, I think this is one of the places that does not have they got the day tour and the night tour. You know what, Alcatraz? You're missing out. You're missing out. You could easily have an overnight tour. You could easily lock people down for a night. Just, it's a bed and breakfast type of thing. You'd be okay. You'd make lots of money. It would be fun.
Well, hell, if Sean Connery was still alive, I'd ask for a tour from him.
Wait. I've got Alcatraz Ghost Tour. Let's see what it comes up.
Oh.
2020. Oh, Alcatraz and the Ghost Hunting Tour 2025 season update. Alcatraz does not currently offer a ghost tour. They offer a night tour, which is slightly more spooky. No, check what time the sun sets. They sold tickets that are during daylight. Looking for a real ghost hunting in San Francisco? Go to the San Remo Hotel. We don't want to go to the San Remo Hotel. We don't want to be locked down. Put us in D block. We'll be okay. Take our money, please. And we're going to read about this San Remo because we don't care about San Remo. San Remo is not what we want.
No.
I mean, I guess if we got to take the night tour, I guess I'll just. We're doing the night tour.
Do the night tour kind of wander off on their own kind of a deal?
Of course, we'd have to wander off on our own. We'd probably have to go in the wintertime so we can have a jacket so we can smuggle gear in. You think we're going to Alcatraz with nothing? Oh, we'll take a K2, we'll take a spirit box with some speakers in the back.
Right.
We'll check this out, man.
Yes. And this one is definitely still on my bucket list.
All right, so on hauntedghosttours.com, why is Alcatraz prison in San Francisco haunted? Here's how to meet the ghosts of Alcatraz. They have a little thing on how to meet them. Visit cell 14D.
The whole.
Okay, yeah. Oh, okay, here we go. So there's a guy who died in the 40s, and he died in cell 14D. Rumor has it the night before his death, he kept screaming that a creature with glowing eyes was trying to kill him. You know, you and me would see that as like challenge.
Challenge accepted.
Well, it's 14D. I want to see the glowing eyes. I do believe our other guy, Josh,
He wants to pet them.
he wants to pet the puppy. Oh, it's a giant creature with glowing eyes. I want to pet the puppy.
All right.
By the way, one of these days we'll get Josh on the show, and then we can talk about that. That is his favorite thing. We in the woods, we're looking at a dog, man. We're being hunted, and he goes, "I want to go pet the puppies." No, we're running.
He's the sacrificial lamb.
He's the new and improved sacrificial lamb who frequently just runs into the danger. Goes, "Hey, man, we got these things over here. I want to go pet them." No, don't go pet them.
Go ahead, be my guest. It gives us time to jet out.
All right, fine. You go pet the puppy. We're going to start up the truck. All right, number 2, take a walk through cell blocks A, B, and C. This is where Alcatraz visitors frequently hear crying and moaning. In addition to that, a psychic reported encountering a magnificent spirit named Butcher here. Want to guess what the prison record show? A man nicknamed Butcher was assassinated here back in the 40s. Number 3, listen for banjo music in the showers. Now, any other time that you're out somewhere and you hear the phrase banjo music, you're not thinking happy thoughts. Don't go where you hear the banjos playing.
Ding, 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 ding.
But apparently Alcatraz, you want to go listen for the banjos. In the showers. It joke writes itself right there. We're going to go listen to banjo music in the showers. That's bad. Al Capone, the infamous American gangster, spent his last years in Alcatraz strumming along with the prison's banjo band. Due to fearing that he would be killed if he dared to play the banjo out in the open, he resolved to practice it in the showers. Some say you can still hear the banjo music playing there on occasion. Can you? I don't know. We're not there.
Right.
And then, of course, you know, the article goes into other areas that you can go. The San Remo Hotel, on San Francisco Ghost Tours. We don't care about that. We don't care about that. We want Alcatraz. We want to know all about the Alcatraz. Lock us up. If we're going to talk about tours, we can quite easily talk about our tours. Starting September 26th. More details to follow.
Right.
We're just waiting on everybody to sign things off. We're ready to go.
Was that Friday the 26th?
Friday the 26th.
All right. So, okay. Yeah. Because, yeah. Just the 27th, I can't be there.
That's all right.
I have the significant other that would kill me.
We don't want you dead for that one.
Hell, if she kills me, I guess you could try to contact me on the tour.
I don't know if you'd want to, like, haunt any of the locations we've got. I mean, we know our history with some of these places.
Well, you know, I could go over to the Crown Jewel. Share one of the floors with the guests there. Oh.
Yeah, on the side note, speaking about that one, the Klondike, they're going to start working on the rooms. It's going to become a hotel again, which means when it's open, whenever that may be, we're going to rent rooms. And we'll try to come in live. We'll try and do a live bit from that.
Tammy says maybe Freddie will be back.
We have gotten way off track, but you know what? That's okay. It is chaos. We got 2 people watching. Probably it might be our Twitch person again.
No.
Nope, not Twitch.
I don't think so.
Nah, well, they probably gave it to us.
I think I know who it is.
All right.
It's the significant other.
All right, so yeah, we've got what are the most haunted locations in Alcatraz? The hospital, cell 14B, D block, cell blocks A, B, and C, basement shower blocks, prison ward, apartment washroom. The Rock officially closed its doors on March 21st, 1963. Cost of operations proven to grand sum. Every new inmate and every required supply, even fresh water, needed to be ferried in. There's a massive drain on federal budget compared to landlocked prisons. Even the saltwater of San Francisco Bay proved problematic, forcing more frequent repairs. Here we go. Despite all this, in 2025, President Donald Trump announced plans to reopen the island prison. The hope is returning to its glory days when it housed the most ruthless and violent criminals. There are implications and moving pieces to consider for such an undertaking, but there's definitely one group that isn't at the forefront of Trump's decision-making. And then we got the natives who lay claim to the island.
He only wants to reopen it so he can make it his own personal residence.
I don't know why everyone wanted to live there. Maybe just visit. Just visit. That's just we're crazy. We're crazy. We just want to visit it, lock us up in the cell, give us our equipment, let's talk to the spirits. All right, well, give me your rundown on Alcatraz. I would try to do my best Sean Connery impersonation, but it's been forever, and I don't think I can say the line that I can mimic from the movie because some young child may watch this.
Well, you know, Alcatraz, I would say it's hard to deny that it's, you know, that there is paranormal activity there. There's got to be a phenomenal amount. I mean, dating all the way back to the 1840s, 1850s or whatever, all the way up till when it closed. Everything that happened there, I mean, what was there, 36 escape attempts? And
yep.
Yeah, you know, I'm pretty safe to say solid that SOB is completely haunted, and I need to get my ass over there Maybe I should have went there instead of Disneyland. A couple weeks ago. But then I wouldn't have got to see the grandkids. So I'd rather see the grandkids in this point.
Well, I mean, it would be a really cool thing to do is go to Alcatraz.
Yeah.
Definitely the nights.
Oh, absolutely.
And you got to do it when it gets dark.
Yeah.
I mean, I know that, we're not, we don't have any pull like certain other people to get access to the island for a full night, all
Right.
access. Like some people, we got it on the screen and you know what we're talking about. But I think that would be kind of cool if we could get
access for a night.
I think we'd have better luck with St. Ignatius getting that one for the night.
I mean,
it's definitely something we got to plan.
you think about it. You got a prison in the middle of a base. It's obviously surrounded by water.
And sharks.
And yeah, hey, sharks too. I mean, come on. They need to eat too. You got damn near everything you could possibly want there to make it a haunted location. You got plenty of people. Oh, let's just kill a few off just to, make it a little more interesting. And yeah, nighttime excursion. There would be no sleep involved for the time being. I know we would hit every possible spot on that island.
Give it to us all night long, and we will hit every damn spot that we can.
And it sounds like we'd be spending quite a bit of time in 14D.
I don't think we'd leave 14D. We just set up some cots and be like, all right, just leave us here. We're fine.
If there's room for two.
Just make it an overnight. Just we'll stay here, right here in 14D. Just everybody get on the boat, come back in the morning, we'll be fine.
Yeah, if we're still here.
We want. Okay, well, we're going to need 14D and another cell for Josh because once the creature, the thing with the glowing eyes comes out, he's going to go up and want to pet it. So
Right. He might want to get a leash so he can take it home with him too. That way he can pet it whenever he wants.
I'm sure if Josh could start rounding up all the cryptids and creatures that we've come across, he'd take them all home and they'd be in the backyard.
I wonder what his wife would say.
I don't know. We'll have to ask him next time. Well, I don't think we can do a skeptics corner because it's a place that we both kind of feel that has a lot to it. So we're gonna skip skeptics corner.
No.
Yeah, I think we might get out of here a little early tonight. It's hot. I don't have a basement like you do, so.
Yeah, see, I'm nice and cool down here, so.
I gotta shut every single light off and get a rip, just plunge out the heat a little bit. So, but we'll be back.
Some episodes are a little long, some are a little short. Hey, this is one of those that, if we did have Skeptics Corner, it would probably take us to full time. But
well, we'd have to try to figure out something to be skeptical about.
Right. You can't be skeptical on this one. It's a foreign conclusion.
It's got a lot of history, a lot of stuff, and it would just be kind of cool to go check it.
Absolutely.
All right, so next week it's another haunted island.
Yeah.
Our research officer is still working on that and the next couple. So we're going to go ahead and go. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in. Like, click, subscribe, comment, etc. James, as always, you got the closing remark.
Keep your cryptids close and tight and hug them all night. We'll see you next week.
See you next week, everybody.